Hey, disclaimer, there is a little bit of static in the background on one of the mics, and I just realized why, but it's a little too late to recreate it, so this is how it's going to be. It's not too bad. Also, my guest is a little quiet at the beginning, but he gets up there and to be the same level as me. So, hope you enjoy. Hey there, this is Lee's Listening episode 2. And this is not what was planned for episode 2. This was not what was supposed to happen. But we had to pull the fire alarm. We had to change plans. We had to declare an emergency.
Code red.
Because Kendrick dropped an album of all new songs. I know there were some snippets out there, and I actually didn't know them. So this was all new to me. So And so I have brought in the biggest Kendrick fan, or stan, or whatever you want to call it. This guy knows Kendrick better than anyone I know. He knows every song. He knows every verse. He knows every random-ass song off a mixtape that only 20 people have listened to. Not only that, this guy flew out to L.A. to go to the Pop Out Ken and Friends show.
Oh, boy.
He's been to the Pop Out.
This is high praise here, man.
He is without a doubt the best person to have on this review with me, the man himself, Chase Gordon. What's happening, brother?
Lee, what is going on, my brother?
How you doing?
I am doing good, dude. I'm feeling very, very honored, like I told you earlier, to be the first guest on the pod regardless. And I think it was just written in the stars that Kendrick drops an album right when we're talking about doing this. So
yeah.
I'm super duper excited, man, and looking forward to get into the discourse, man.
Yeah, and so what was funny was we were supposed to get together and do reviews of Absol and Tyler, the Creator, which we're still going to do.
Yes, sir.
But I get a call from Chase on Friday at noon, and I'm at work. And he goes,
I'm losing my marbles.
He
man.
goes, we might have a change of plans. Did you hear? And I was like, whoa, are you okay? Like, I was concerned. I was like, wait. Are you okay?
Yeah.
I think I did ask you. I was like, are you okay? I was concerned for a moment, and you're like, no, it's all good. Kendrick dropped. And I was like, no fucking way. And so I went to my car to listen during my lunch break. I just sat in my car and listened to it. But what was your experience with finding out and then, like, running to listen to it? Like, you were at work, too, right?
So it was the same type of situation for me where I was on my lunch break, and since I am, sick in the head, I have notifications for the Jojo Ruski Instagram page, which is like, I guess.
I don't know what that is.
So that's Kendrick's burner Instagram. It's called Jojo Ruski.
Okay.
And he posted a snippet, and I was listening to the snippet in my car for my lunch break. For like a good 20, 30-minute period, I'm just listening to this 50-second snippet over and over and over again on Instagram. And I'm happy for the snippet. And I get back in for my lunch break, and somebody at my job comes running over to me, and because they know I'm a Kendrick fan too, and they're like, dude, did you hear about the album? And I'm like, what? And he's like, dude, look on, and he shows me his Apple Music, and it's this GNX album, and I looked on Spotify, and it's there too, and I immediately started skipping around like a grade school girl, and
yeah,
was lightheaded, and yeah, like you said, I called you less than 45 seconds after that interaction, and was like, all right, well, change of plans there, bud.
I feel like you're like, my heart is racing so hard right now.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's it's something that I think me and you talked about. We can sound really professional off air here. I think a lot of people get to a point where they kind of close off their brain to finding new music, right? And as hard as I've tried myself, it's something I've done too. And so when your favorite artist ever, releases new music, especially...
Told you he's the biggest Kendrick fan.
Especially in the, time period we're in now, after all of this stuff with the person that will not be named, and, before the Super Bowl performance, this is just... I saw a tweet, and I'm going to say that's going to be my tick that people say I said 20 times. But I saw a tweet somebody put up that really made me laugh, where it was like Kendrick fans right now, and it was a picture of a utopia. And that's what it feels like right now. It feels like a music utopia,
man.
where
This year, yeah.
you know
I mean, it's been
it's like the knight on the white stallion has come and slayed the phony dragon, man. That's really what it feels like. That's really what
I
it
like
feels
that.
like.
Well, yeah, and I mean he does it again on this album too. He comes right out the bat, just coming pretty hard, but he doesn't just come at, he who might not be named. Yeah.
Well, so the reason I did that is because I'm sure you've noticed he's not named by name in the entire album.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Or probably any of the. No, he does.
He calls him old boy. He calls old boy in the album, and he pauses in Whacked Out Murals. He's like, everybody worried about, but he's coming for everybody, and that's when he proceeds to.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Whacked Out Murals, I guess we should start there because it's the. Is that
yeah,
cool?
Yeah,
like,
no, right out. That's what I was going to talk about, because he comes out the gate hard. I mean, he says, "Fuck a double entendre. I want you to feel this shit."
Yes,
right off the bat.
A 5-minute long intro, where he just comes out, and one thing that I found interesting right off the bat with the title and the first line of the song, yesterday somebody whacked out my mural. So this, it dates itself. This is proof in the pudding that this is something that he's written recently. You know what I mean? This is not something he's just had in the locker, like somebody just releasing 100 gigabytes of terrible music out of their ass crack or something. Like somebody would do that. But this is something he's done recently, man. And there's
these are new bars.
Yeah, well,
these are new bars. I mean, you can tell because he addresses the Super Bowl thing too.
Yes.
Right. So if people don't know, Kendrick's playing the Super Bowl, and everybody got pissed because it's in New Orleans, and Lil Wayne, they felt like Lil Wayne should do it.
First solo hip hop act ever to headline the halftime at the Super Bowl. By the way, go ahead though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's so people felt it should have been Lil Wayne, and there's an opinion for that, but. Kendrick addresses it on here too, that he says he loves the Carter. I used to listen to the Carter 3. Now it's ironic that my achievements are letting
Lil
Wayne down. Yeah, he says so. He addresses it right off the bat with that, and I love that. By giving respect to Lil Wayne, but it's also that people have been talking shit about him playing the Super Bowl, and he says on there too that only Nas congratulated him. So it's kind of.
Well, I think it goes back to the theme that's throughout the entire album, where there's so many reminders of why he stays to himself and why he's not out in this public image, and why he's in the crib, man. Like, you know what I mean?
He's not that. He's like, I can't trust you, folks.
He's not a celebrity, dude. He's just the best rapper ever. That's it. It's two different things.
He doesn't want to be caught up with that stuff. Yeah. He really doesn't.
But. So I thought this gave me major Control vibes.
Oh, just saying fuck everybody.
The whatever attitude he came with, like the actual sound of his voice, there was no melodic, nothing. He was just straight spitting fire on. Everything he said, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, and the beat slowly comes in when it drops, and it drops right off that Wayne line too, and I'm like, oh man, it's so good.
Another thing, there's my tick too, is saying another thing. Did you notice the line about old boy? People in my city wouldn't entertain old boy. Like, is he talking about Drake putting a hit out on Kendrick? Because he mentions mentioning
I have no idea.
Banks transactions in Bitcoin, and I'm a Caucasian man.
Oh, that is why he did say
family,
something about Bitcoin.
But from what I've heard, people who put hits out usually pay for it in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency because it can be So that's what I gathered from.
Well, either way, that's an interesting line. I did hear that Bitcoin line.
If the money got in the hands of a crash out or a crash dummy, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's an interest, and that's the first song on the album, dude. Like that's just
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That,
Yeah, no, he comes he comes out really hard on this.
But,
and he had me laughing a couple times. Was that when he was like, "What the fuck you wearing, bro? You looking tacky?"
Yeah.
He said
what
something.
the fuck you wearing, bro? It's-
Dude, he had me
yeah.
cracking up. He said, "I'll cut my granny off if she doesn't."
Oh yeah.
Oh
Feeling
my God, she doesn't see
'cause
how
I've
I
known
see
him
it.
since a child. Yeah, bro. Yeah. And then
Was that the first track too, or was that off something else? I'm trying to remember now.
I think that's on Hey Now.
Oh, is it?
I
Okay.
think I could be wrong, man. I'll tell you. You asked me earlier. I'm on probably listen through 30 through 40 right
yeah,
now,
that's right.
and the first time I played it, it was almost hard to find obvious ends and beginnings to songs. If I'm being honest with you, like
Oh, you're playing it all the way through.
yeah, because I
Yeah.
just I was
Yeah.
at work. I
Yeah.
just played it, and I was like, man, I'm 6 or 7 songs through this out. By the time I got to the heart, I was like, oh my goodness, like that was a
Yeah.
bunch of different songs, and it all just kind of, obviously there are different tones and
Yeah.
beat, obviously,
No,
but
it definitely flows well.
it's it gives me the same kind of feeling I have with Good Kid, Mad City, where I can put on Good Kid, Mad City
yeah.
and know, all right, well now I just got here's an hour. I
Yeah.
can pass.
It felt like, if I was to compare it to another Kendrick album the most, I would say it felt like Damn. The way that it was kind of a little more, I feel like this one is a little more accessible than other ones as far as, we were kind of talking about it earlier, that some of his deeper albums, when he's diving into kind of like tough topics,
Conceptual stuff.
yeah, and also just like hard to hear topics
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
That like people don't, people want to jam out and
they don't want
vibe
to be
to something.
uncomfortable, for sure.
They don't
for
necessarily
sure.
want to. And we were, you said somebody was like, "Oh, you have to
Yeah,
work
you don't wanna
to
put
listen to
effort
Kendrick.
in to
You don't want
listen
to put
me.
effort."
Yeah, man.
But you know what? You should put effort into listening to Kendrick because
He's got 6
He's
albums
doing conceptual,
in the
amazing stuff
Library
on
of
this.
the United States Congress, man. 4 albums at the University of Harvard. He's a Pulitzer Prize winning
yeah.
artist, man. This is the Beethoven of our time, ladies and gentlemen. Like,
I told you he was a stan.
I'm sorry to say it. Squabble up though, dude.
Yeah, let's go on to Squad. Dude, that beat. Oh
a
my
ridiculous
God,
beat.
It got me so bad. It was so good.
I
I was bouncing in my chair at work.
So this is, as you mentioned, was one of the priorly released snippets, at least the beginning.
Right. Which I didn't even know that, actually.
It's a Debbie Deb sample. Just today, as we're recording, a couple hours ago, they released the music video for it. I don't know if you've seen it, but
Oh, really?
I love
No, I
it.
didn't know
I
that,
think
actually.
that the
Wait, there's a video for Squabble Us?
Squabble Up, yes sir.
Shit,
The
man.
imagery
Missed
for
it.
it, I dig it. I'm a big fan, but that,
Okay.
tell me when you're shocked to hear me say that. But
Big fan of Kendrick.
I said that this is, and I'm biased, but this is a Kendrick club car song, or but it's still got a good message behind it. But
yeah.
I think you could play this at the bar, and some people
Oh, my
that
God.
don't like rap are
Makes you
gonna
want to dance. Yeah.
tap their foot or whatever to squabble up.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
I'm,
You want to talk about the next?
I was just gonna run through. Like, I got notes.
You want to talk Luther?
Or yeah, I got
Because
Luther with
Luther,
SZA.
dude, SZA sounds great. And I'm honestly,
Money,
okay,
dude.
so I didn't like Luther at first, and that only because I had to kind of remove my thoughts on, like, okay, I want to hear Kendrick. Like, he just went hard for
Yeah.
2 songs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, he brought it down. And I haven't always loved the love songs
Lovey-dovey,
from
yeah.
Kendrick, the R&B stuff.
Mhm.
But I gotta say, after a few listens to this thing, and the shout out to Luther Vandross and the sample, and oh my God, I think this is my favorite Kendrick R&B song. I think this is my favorite Kendrick R&B
so
song
the two
that
notes
that he's done.
the
And
two-
SZA sounds so good.
2 notes that I will say too. This, I think, solidifies or gives good backup to your point that you think this kind of reminds you of Damn, where this reminds me of how
Yeah.
Love is on Damn.
Yep, that's what I
know?
thought of.
Um,
I thought this was better though, honestly. Or I'm not trying to like compare them.
no,
It's
yeah,
different times,
I think
whatever.
this-
But like,
yeah,
this is
I do
my
like this sound.
Kendrick
bro.
R&B
SZA
song.
and Kendrick just together, they're
Yeah.
That deep melody with SZA's voice is ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
My 2 notes that I wrote are literally more proof that K-Dot would be better than Aubrey at singing melodies, and for the women, double check. And those are 2 things that I can agree with wholeheartedly, man. You gotta.
My wife loves this song.
You know,
yeah.
You gotta have music that girls like, because
sure.
you gotta have music to play around the girls.
Yeah.
And
I texted her saying, "Hey, I came around on this song. You know, I was like, I listened to it a couple more times. I like that. Oh, I like that one. Oh man.
So
so I want to get your thoughts on "Man in the Garden" because
this is an
man, there's a lot
song.
to unpack there.
This is an intense song. I mean, I deserve it all. Like, geez Louise.
Oh my God.
This is an intense song.
You know.
I wrote down 1 note for this song, which is not to. It's one of those quality over quantity things where I think this is all I needed to take from this song when I listened through to show like the impact or the effect it had on me. And it's 1 bar. It says, excuse me, it's innate to mind my business, writing words trying to elevate these children. I deserve it all. That right there is why I love Kendrick and why I've loved Kendrick since I was a kid. Stuff like that, like bars like that, bars like I don't do black music, I don't do white music, I do everyday life music. Like shit like that has nothing to do with gangbanging or how many hoes you got or the money you got or the cars you got or who's better than who or anything like that. Minding his business and putting out a good message for the youth, bro.
Yeah.
For the next generation, bro. Like that right there.
Yeah.
That is all. Like I said, quality over quantity.
Yeah.
That's the only note that I had to put
He was
for this
literally.
song.
I agree. He was literally trying to, talk about breaking generational trauma on the last album, and then he was talking about the struggles in the black community on To Pimp a Butterfly and all kinds of personal stuff on Damn. I mean, he's always given you good, thoughtful concepts and messages. It is not just a bunch
he never
of
does
it's not
anything
just
for
a bunch
no
of bullshit.
reason. Yeah,
it is not a bunch of bullshit
never
ever. It's amazing. Even on this album where I think he was kind of just having some fun. Like this album's like a pop throughout the whole thing. But he still gives you some of the most conceptual songs I've ever heard in rap.
5
on this
years.
album. Yeah.
5 years we waited for Mr. Morale.
Oh man, it's so good.
This had to have been in the last 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Like that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is
it's
ridiculous.
all topical.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay.
What's next? Oh, is that Hey Now?
Moving on to Hey Now, bro.
Or Hey Now.
This is the best beat on the album. This is the best beat on the album.
I could get behind that. I could get behind that.
This is
It was ridiculous. Yeah.
Hey, baby. Like, dude, this is ridiculous. All right. Not a coincidence. This is also a Mustard produced beat.
Is it Mustard?
This is also a Mustard produced beat. And something that I
do
thought,
like this beat.
excuse me, was crazy. Something I think is crazy about this song in particular is that this is our first introduction into a feature from a completely unknown, not even relatively unknown, local LA artist named, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, so if I'm not,
what is this
but Dodie Six. Okay, I looked up Dodie Six today, Lee.
Yeah.
No Wikipedia, no Spotify. You want to listen to Dodie Six, you have to listen to him on SoundCloud. He's got less than 30,000 followers on Instagram at this time. Yeah. And he's got one of my favorite parts of the entire fucking album.
I actually felt like this might be my favorite feature, at least from, I mean, besides like, I feel like SZA.
What the fuck I fuck like? I feel like
features,
Joker.
But
Harley
like,
Quinn in the cut with a blower. Like, are you kidding me, bro?
This was probably my favorite feature
what
too.
The fuck?
And that's something he did on this album is he brought people in from LA that are kind of no names.
And you said
he put them on and they're good. Kind of like the Pop Out show.
So,
because the Pop Out show started like that, right?
The entire first hour was nobody's. And I mean that in like a completely non-confrontational, non-dickhead way, right?
No, they were killing it.
And they killed it.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm talking, there are people that I listen to, the Cuzzos, Like, it's like a
Right.
group of like 4 or 5 girls that
Yeah.
were there in the first hour of the pop out. I listen to them now because of that show. He had a whole dance troupe out at the pop out, man. He is
That was
so
wild.
for the culture. It's
Yeah.
not even funny. And like, it's not even, when I say that, okay, here I am, a white boy talking about culture. To me, it's not even just the black culture. It's like the culture of like acceptance, bro, and open-mindedness and combating things together instead of being divided, bro. Like, he's talking about having 100 hoods on one stage, bro, putting meals in the hood, dude. Like,
I love that.
if you can't agree with that just because your skin color, dude, you got much bigger problems than what is a good song and a good album.
There you go.
Moving
All right.
on though, bro. Reincarnated, dude.
Okay. Oh man, I got so much to say about this one. This is
Reincarnated, man.
so we
Oh yeah, we thought we
we
knew.
were trying to figure
we
out
thought we
who he
knew
was
and
talking
didn't
about.
know 3 different times, man.
Yeah. So this song, he ends up talking from the perspective of 2 different people in history, 2 different musicians that he feels like he probably has gotten some qualities from, like through reincarnation. Like, that's the concept of the song, you know. And we were trying to figure out who he was talking about. The first one, you know, I thought you were right.
I thought it was
he
Little
said
Richard.
He said Little Richard. Who, you know, you could find online. He got kicked out by his dad. So that was one of the things, like, Kendrick related.
Lived
first
in Michigan
person
when he
to
was
getting-
a youth, like it
Yeah.
was all.
It was all
connected.
there, yeah, Detroit and everything. So he, like, Kendrick was saying on this kind of, got that reincarnation from this artist in history of getting kicked out by your dad. That was like how he related to this guy. So come to find out, it's John Lee Hooker from Detroit too. And there were a couple lyrics that talked about, you know, he said he had his guitar on his back and played guitar like
Yeah.
on a grand
Yeah.
level.
There were certain ones that
So I was like,
didn't
okay,
connect, so
that
we-
doesn't connect to Little
Yeah.
Richard because he played piano. But I was like, I mean,
Just the
nobody
fact
knew
that,
yet.
Just
This was
the
like a
fact-
couple
yeah,
hours in.
Just the fact that we were doing that is half the fun of this shit,
Right,
man.
exactly.
Like, and
Yep.
that's what art is supposed to do. Art is supposed to incite, you know, deep thinking, critical thinking, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to. That's why that you know, statement of, you know, you shouldn't have to put an effort to listen to good music, like, that offends me,
bugging him.
man. That
He
offends
hates
me
that.
because, like, good music is so rare. Good art is so rare. You know?
And to stick with a concept like this too, and talk from the. I mean, he's done this before. Now it's like "Sing About Me," "I'm Dying of Thirst." He talks from 3 different people's perspectives in their point. I find that so cool. And so we were trying to figure out the second one too, which you said Etta James.
I thought it
I
was
heard
Etta
other people
James.
guess that too. I thought Whitney Houston because of the drug. He mentions, I got addicted to drugs and I ended up
How it ended.
died
yeah.
with syringes in my veins. That's how he ended that part of the verse. And so I thought Whitney Houston. You said Etta James. Turns out to be Billie Holiday. All right, I guess at least that's
Another
what they're
yeah.
saying right now.
Yeah,
I
at
mean, it
least
could
as
always
of-
develop.
Yeah, right. As
Kendrick
of
could be like,
recording,
nope, this
nah,
is just
you're
some
all
random
wrong.
person.
Yeah, right. And we're just playing
I
the
don't know.
game.
Yeah, he's just toying with us.
Some notes I wrote about Reincarnated. It is a a Pac sample.
Dude, that beat is so good.
It's also the only song on the album that Kendrick has a production credit for as well, which I found kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
My
Okay.
favorite part in the song was the back and forth part. You know,
Oh my god! Yeah, when he comes in and he has the other
But you
voice that's
love war.
harmonizing with
No,
him.
you don't. Oh, yes, you
Yeah.
did.
The
Yeah,
back and forth,
yeah.
like the angel and death
Okay,
on
tell
your
me
shoulder
more.
almost. And I love when he harmonizes himself.
Every individual
He
is
does
only
that.
a version of you.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. That's that. That's
Oh,
that.
that was pretty good.
That's that. What's it called? Swimming pools, pull up, drink.
Yeah.
He's
I don't go
Telling
with
you,
some
bro.
people feeling alive and by.
telling you.
Oh man, I love when
Um,
he does that voice, man.
I will
and
say-
that's something that Kendrick always gives us. He gives us different voices.
yeah,
man, I
different
heard him do a little
sounds.
at
Yeah.
one time kind of thing.
And even
man, it was
he
so-
sounds like Pac in this song almost.
Yeah.
Like
I
he's
think it
got
kinda
he's
was
got
supposed
like
to be.
bits and pieces of Pac.
Was it supposed to be a tribute to
I-
Pac? I think it was almost. I heard somebody say that.
I will say though, this 3-song stretch in the album, "Hey Now," "Reincarnated," and "TV Off," I believe
Oh
this is
my
probably my favorite.
That's probably the strongest stretch,
man.
Yeah,
Like,
I could see that.
holy
Yep.
moly,
Yep, I agree with that.
holy moly, dude.
Yeah.
"TV Off" with Lefty
You know,
Gunplay.
wait, it goes to TV off after. Oh my God.
Mustard again. That's my favorite song on the album right now.
TV
okay, so
Off
there's
is
a
your
tie.
favorite?
There's a
Okay.
tie. "TV Off."
All right, let's talk. All right, yeah.
We got.
Let's
here,
do it.
We got a couple more. We got a couple.
Let's do it. No, we can say our favorite album.
We only got a couple more, and then we'll get it. We got a couple more, and we'll get
Okay,
it.
yeah,
These
let's do
ones-
best and worst at the end.
But yeah, there's a tie. That one's a tie right now for my favorite song.
I can see that.
"Dodger Blue." It's got
Okay.
2 more pretty, smaller features. Roddy
Okay.
Ricch is.
Wait. Let's go back to TV off for a second.
Oh yeah, I'm
because
sorry. Go ahead.
that beat, what I thought, I knew it was a Mustard beat right
Mhm,
away
mhm.
as soon as it started. And what I thought of was, I was like, is this Not Like Us Part 2? Because
It's like a
that's what it
B-roll.
felt like. Because he didn't give, Not Like Us was not on an album, but he's like, here's another one, pretty
So
much. Like, it was so good.
I gotta send you this guy and free promo because he deserves it. He's sick. It's this guy named Spectre on Twitter, SPECTRE, and he mixes all kinds of stuff.
Too bad we don't
And-
have that many viewers yet. Sorry, Spectre.
And he put up "TV Off" over "Not Like Us."
Dude, I'm
And
almost...
dude,
wow. I don't know.
no, it is. You were right.
It's the same beat.
Dude,
I don't know why
I'm
people aren't
tell-
talking about this. He did that on purpose.
I'll play it.
He had to
after
have done
this.
that on purpose.
It's next
There's no way he didn't do that on
It's
purpose. It was
next
so
level,
noticeable
my
that
brother.
I was like, this is Not Like Us, but just twisted up a little bit. And it's
you,
awesome.
You like comedy specials. You said in the first episode you love listening to comedy specials. Next time you want a good
So-
laugh, put on "The Heart Part 6" by Drake.
Ah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, let's move on.
Dodger
Dodger
Blue.
Blue. Oh, man, I didn't mess with that one at first, but I'm coming around
yeah,
to it.
that's the same.
Now
right?
I kind of like it because
it's one of those slow
it's
simmers.
2 minutes, and it's just
quick.
kind
It's
of
just
cool
that
vibe.
5 and a bit.
Yeah, he got me with it. No,
You
It
know?
ended up registering with me.
I said
you know.
West Coast as fuck. Terrence
Yeah,
Martin
that
has
is
a
true.
production credit. You know.
Okay, I
Like-
like it. No, I ended up coming around to liking it. It's not my I know what my least favorite song is,
So-
and I'm interested to hear what you say when I tell it. But we got to keep going.
So that
We gotta keep going.
Dodger Blue is one of those songs you don't have to try to listen to. You could just
No.
vibe on back.
It gives
and
you kinda like a
vibe
break.
and, You know,
It gives you like a little break
Yeah.
in the album. You're like,
and
oh,
it's
I'm just
not a
vibing
bad
for a second.
thing. It's,
Let me get 2-minute break before he rips me up with more
yeah,
fucking bars.
He's coming right back.
And
on
he does,
Peekaboo.
yeah.
Hey,
Oh
hey,
yeah.
hey,
Well,
hey, hey, hey,
well,
motherfucker.
Peekaboo, he just keeps it silly
Hey,
for
hey,
a sec.
hey, 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 come on.
Yeah.
Another local
Hey, hey, hey.
LA artist as Chike.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
These verses didn't blow me away, but it was fun.
yeah.
This song in general. But, you know.
Peekaboo, yeah, same. I'll give it a 6.5, 6.
Yeah,
You know,
it's fun.
It's not a terrible song. It's not a great song. It's got the memorable stuff with like I said, the hey, 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 and then something that he says at the beginning too that I can't remember off the top of my head that I like. You know, it's a decent song. It's a decent song. But I will tell
Yeah.
you what, it is leading up to the next song.
Yeah,
that
and
is Oh,
I feel like
that's
that's why maybe that's why these songs are kind of nice, even though these are, you know, on the lower end for me as far as favorites. But it kind of gives you like a break from like, I mean, he's just going for so long, and then because he's gonna give you another one, which is one of the most greatest songs on this. So go ahead with that.
I will say no. So before we move on, I will say that this song specifically, this song and Dodger Blue, both gave me like this is probably incredibly appreciated by the West Coast, by
Yeah.
LA. You know,
Yeah.
that
And
those
putting these
two,
artists on again, like putting these
those
artists
two
on.
sounds in particular too, though,
Absolutely.
just of like that being put out on a worldwide scale. You know,
Yeah, and getting
So,
them some notice.
I feel like
Yeah.
if me and
And they're
you
good artists.
are two guys from California, two
Yeah.
guys from Los Angeles County, it's probably a much bigger deal to us, these songs. But
For sure. Especially Dodger Blue. Man, that's West Coast as
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah.
That's West Coast as fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
But moving on to the other song that is tied for my favorite song. on
I
the
feel
album
that.
is The Hard Part 6, man.
Oh my God.
And
So good.
dude, this song gives me incredible Good Kid, Mad City vibes. The
Yeah?
beat,
Okay.
man, like the horns and oh my gosh, dude,
The beat
story,
is so
dude.
nice.
It
Luscious
reminds me.
beat.
It reminds me a lot of Big Brother by Kanye West. Just
Okay.
the story
Yeah,
of
that
like
is-
the
the beat even
you
too.
can listen
Yeah.
to a song from one of your favorite artists and just
Yeah.
get like a summarization of how the hell they
Yeah.
made it. You know what the story was,
Right.
and the story about soul. And
Dude, I love the shout out he gives to Soul.
Schoolboy.
He literally says that he's like, Absol was rapping. He was
I
a
wanted
better
to
rapper
rap
than me. I
like
wanted
him,
to rap
you
like
know?
him. Before
J
that,
Rock making it
and-
meant
yeah, he's like, if
me
J-
make it, like, you know, all
Yep.
that, dude.
that Schoolboy Q didn't even rap. I love
He
that.
was
He's
my
like, which
hype
I knew
man.
that, but
Yeah. You know,
him saying that, he's like, Schoolboy didn't even
He
rap,
learned
but he
from
learned from
us.
my
Yeah.
inspiration. And
know?
now I love Schoolboy,
and
man.
like you
Can
said,
you
going
imagine
back,
Schoolboy not rapping?
not rapping, dude.
What the hell?
Like, I think about the Pop Out, bro. The fact you can
Oh
see
my God.
all of them on the same stage, bro. Black Hippie on the same
I'm jealous.
stage,
All right.
bro.
Yeah, I know. Rubbing it in.
But dude, here's
Yeah, give me
a
your Hard
deep
Part
cut.
6.
Here's a deep cut. You're gonna be like, ooh, that's good. That sizzles. All right, so the Hard Part 6. Use your heart and not your heart, right?
Baby,
S-
just fun
It's an
tonight.
SWV song.
Yeah, I've been hearing people. Yeah,
So-
SWV.
That's the sample.
Right.
That
SWV
song.
sample. Yeah.
That song was produced by Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo.
Oh,
okay.
really? Okay.
I don't like you popping shit at Pharrell for him. I inherit the beef. Okay, this is the first
Oh,
song.
are you saying it's like a line
This
that he
is the
said before?
No, no.
Oh.
That's
Okay,
the
yeah.
line Kendrick said. I don't
Oh,
like you
okay.
popping shit at Pharrell for him. I inherit the beef. I don't like you. Or
Ooh.
you say you push a T, or like you saying you push a P. Let me see you push a T, right? Okay?
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is the
that's a great line.
first song. This is the first song that Pharrell and Chad Hugo had chart. Was this SVW song that he sampled in the Hard Part 6?
Really? Oh man, that's a crazy bar. That's a deep dive. That's a coded bar. You
Is
had
that
to
not
decode
nuts?
that shit
Is
to
that
get
not
that.
nuts? So
You had to decode that.
I will say I am.
That's
I'm not a
wild.
huge SWV fan, but
Yeah,
I
I'm not
like.
very
I
familiar,
like.
but-
So they've got a song on Grand Theft Auto, and I'm a big fan of Grand Theft
There you
Auto,
go.
and it's a lot of fun running from the cops, listening to "Rain" by by SWV. That's a great
Okay.
song.
Shout
Another
out
great
to
song
Grand
by
Theft
them.
Auto.
Another great song by them is "Love Will Be Right Here." Listen to both of those. That's
Okay.
definitely two good recs.
This
for
is my
me.
recommendation. When I do my
Um,
recommendations episode, it's going to be
yeah.
these two songs from Chase.
SWV, baby.
He's going to be like, no, I have better than that.
all right. Speaking of two.
Wait. Okay, Hard Part 6.
Yeah,
If
I
people
keep
don't
skipping
know,
you, I'm
no,
sorry.
you're good. We're both new to podcasts.
Yeah,
It's cool.
yeah.
We're doing great.
We'll get it.
So if people don't know about the Hard Part 6, during the beef with Drake put out a song called The Hard Part 6, which The Heart is a series of songs that Kendrick has done. Yeah, I remember. People don't know this. See, Chase forgets that people don't
Back to
know
2009.
Kendrick's songs off his mixtape 20
Yeah.
years ago when he was 5 years old or whatever. It's so anyway.
Clown.
If you don't know, then yeah, Drake put out a song called The Heart Part 6 because the last one that Kendrick did was The Heart Part 5. And The Hearts are an amazing series of singles that Kendrick puts out that he's just, the beats are always so good. The Heart
Mhm.
Part 5 is, whew.
Mhm.
I don't know, we may have to have
Heart
a
Part
ranking
4,
of the
all-
Hearts one
all-
day. That'd be a fun episode. Anyway,
That'd be interesting.
yeah, so Kendrick got his song, he kind of reclaimed it with this. He said, I got the Hard Part 6. You're not taking,
I love my
mine.
friends. My friends are better than your friends.
Yeah,
Basically
exactly.
what the song says, my
Yeah.
boy.
Dude, and it's just about the upcoming, trend of TDE. Yeah,
TDE,
like
bro.
how TDE became
Black hippie
TDE.
bitch.
Yeah, it
Like,
was their rising to making some of the greatest hip hop music that's out right now. So, I mean, it's a cool story. He says like the imagery is amazing. He's like, I got Jack in Box and Pepsi. Like we're chilling on the couch.
We're
We're
over
like,
here at
he's like, we're
Sam's.
sleeping. Schoolboys, one of them's homeless or something.
Yeah, bro.
And they're like sleeping on their couch
I'm
just
over
trying to make
here-
music.
I'm
It's
over-
such a
Over here
inspirational
borrowing
experience.
Soundwave's clothes for shows, bro. Like, come on, man. That's what it's about, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we've all been there. We all, like,
Yeah.
anybody that had a half-decent upbringing had a circle of people around them that helped them become who they are, you know?
Yeah.
So everybody can relate to that.
Absolutely.
So the fact that straight up he's like, I was kind of half joking, but basically he's saying like, dude, yeah, like after this whole thing with Drake, where he was basically like, you got snakes around you, you don't have people around you who want the best for you. Like, here he is now, basically being like, look, like, not only do I have people around me who wanted the best for me, but I wanted the best for them, and we all fucking made it. We all here now, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like that is the theme of this album too, is that he's like, fuck everybody but my friends. Like in The Heart Part 6, he talks about his original squad of rappers that he came up with.
And how it was even his fault why it didn't last together.
Right, yeah.
Like, it's telling
yeah,
you, man,
we're speechless for a minute right here.
It's just, going back to the thing about just how current it is, I can't fathom doing something like this in such a short period of time. And speaking back to that, moving on to the next song.
Let's get on to the next one.
The title album, right?
Okay.
GNX. Kendrick got the beat for this song 2 days before the album was dropped.
Really?
2 days. I saw this on Twitter from the producer that made the beat. I don't have the name here, so excuse me. But Kendrick
that makes me respect it a little bit more, because I'm just going to say it right off the bat. This is my least favorite song on the album, I think. Favorite? Yeah, I think so, dude. But it does give me mixtape vibes, which I like that. Which that makes sense now that you say that the beat only came out a couple days ago and he's just like rapping. I mean, it just, it felt a little sloppy to me or whatever, but I do there's no song I hate on this album, but I was gonna ask you least and favorite and all that, and so this is my least favorite song on the album, personally.
So I think it goes back again to same thing I said with, Peekaboo and Dodger Blue, where I think the West Coast probably loves this song.
The beat is cool. I mean, Kendrick's doing his thing. The features are.
The text from Kendrick to the producer literally says, quote, I want some ignorant West shit, but let the drums have space. I'm about to hit the studio now.
Ignorant West shit.
Very next.
Mission accomplished.
Text back,
Yeah.
So.
Well, what do you think of it? You liked it then? I mean, as far as but he,
I'm not.
He just gives you so many like amazing songs on this. This one's kind of like,
that's not. Cool. It's not one. Yeah, it's like
that's
you
why
said. I don't hate.
Vibes.
And this has 3 different features again with smaller artists. Man, Hit a J3, Young Threat.
Right, putting people on.
Tell him Peso did it. Who taught you how to run the blood? He doesn't even have a verse in this song. Kendrick doesn't have a verse in this song.
Does he not?
He only does that. Who taught you how to run a blitz? Tell him Kendrick did it. He doesn't have a verse. He just and then the rest of these guys come in and go crazy.
I trust you because he's listened to it almost 40 times.
Yeah. So
I'm at about 8 to 10 listens.
And then Gloria, I'll kind of let you take the reins over on Gloria, because I feel like you probably have more of an appreciation or even an understanding of it. I enjoy it just for the sounds and the lollipop pop again, the R&B of SZA. I literally wrote more proof of Kendrick being able to do sing-songy melodies better than fucking Drake.
Yeah, I mean, if we consider this one of Kendrick's R&B songs, then this is his best R&B song. But I think this song actually has a lot more going on than just like a straightforward R&B song, because he has an amazing concept here and he's rapping his ass off and telling a story too. But I will say the beat right away sounded like so smooth and luscious. And it sounded like some shit No Name would rap over. Shout out to No Name. I'm a big No Name fan. This sounded like some shit she would sound good on.
Is that? No.
She's been on some Chance stuff. She's from Chicago. I like a lot of her stuff.
I think I have heard one of her verses.
Shout out to, look up No Name. Telephone is a great album. Sundial is pretty cool. Oh man, what's the
See,
one that I
Lee-
actually
The Lee
Room
tries to,
Room 23?
Lee
is
tries
what's-
to blow my head up because I
No.
know one artist really well, and Lee is
I
just
d-
like this encyclopedia of music, guys. I hope you know going forward, man. Give this guy a chance after this episode because he was a really, really good friend and let his buddy come on here and yap for a long time. But I'm
Oh,
telling
no,
you
this is
right
great.
now, Lee is going to do a hell of a job recommending stuff to you guys, and I think that his appreciation for music is some of the most passionate I've seen and come across in my entire life. And this is somebody, I was in chorus from elementary school all the way up until high school, man. Like a theater kid at the heart, and I've yet to see somebody that truly appreciates this shit like you do, Lee, man. So
Thanks, man. Appreciate
going
that.
forward, dude, I
do love it. It's fun.
know that give this guy a shot, dude. It's not always going to be his goofy friend over here rambling on over and over and over again. But
Speaking of that,
that's it, man. That's
so-
the album. That's
no, we're not done with
no,
Gloria.
but that-
not
no,
even
I'm-
close.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
We
Go.
got to talk about Gloria because so first off, beat's amazing, yeah. But then my experience with this song was I didn't like it at first because I thought the content was about a girl or his wife or something like that, which I can respect, of
This
course.
is where he's
but
talking
like,
about his pin, right?
yes, so he goes through all of these lyrics, and then at the end he reveals, spoiler alert, he's talking about his pen, he's talking about his craft, he's talking about writing in his notebook, and the fact that writing lyrics and writing music is like an escape to that, but it's also he like personifies it, which is crazy. And so you think he's talking about a person, and it turns out to
At
be
the
his
very
pen.
end,
So
yeah.
and he reveals it at the end, and so I had to go back and listen, and when I listened back, I was like, this is
Genius.
so genius.
Yeah.
It's so clever. I mean, he's talking about writer's block. He's like, oh, I went to Africa. I brought you with me, but like we weren't
My
talking.
passenger.
Like we weren't. I don't know. He ends up essentially describing writer's block, but as this person who's not like, they're not communicating well or whatever together. It's brilliant. I mean, and he's done stuff like this before, and these are the songs that kind of blow my mind. With
Almost
him.
the subtle
Yeah.
mind fucks.
Yeah, it is. When you listen back after knowing that he's talking about writing and he's talking about his pen, it's crazy. He's like, oh, your favorite movie's The Notebook. He's like, I had my hand around your waist. Even that line kind of made me like, wow, okay. He's talking about like the waist of a pen.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I don't know. There's so many lines in it that relate to that, and it's crazy that he was able to stick on that topic. This song blew my mind. So, and to get into it, I don't know if we don't have to pick a favorite, but let's pick our favorites. So I'm gonna do 3, and since we're talking about Gloria, I'm gonna say Gloria, The Heart Part 6, and Reincarnated are my top 3. If I had to, I mean, there's none of them are the bangers, but like, man, I'm a sucker for those conceptual ones, and they're so cool.
Gosh.
Well, you said TV off. I mean, I understand. You got to give that one.
Yeah, I mean,
Somebody's
geez
gotta say
Louise,
TV off.
dude. TV off, man. Hard Part 6, just my
Yeah.
sentimental one too, bro. But golly.
All right, give me one more.
Hey
TV
now, bro. Just,
Hey Now?
Hey now.
Well, you said that was your
Whacked
3.
out.
That was your 3-song run right
Whacked
there.
out. No,
You could
so
say
I-
more.
no, I
You
said
could
the
say more than 3.
I said the 3 run that was crazy was Hey Now, Reincarnated, and TV off.
Right,
That
yeah, exactly.
straight is the craziest
Right.
stretch of the album. But
You can give more than 3.
Man.
Give as many as you want.
Hey Now, TV off,
There you go.
Heart 6, Whacked Out
Whacked out
Murals.
murals. Squabble up.
Man, bring over a bad
Give me
bitch.
squabble up too.
Bring
to
over
be
a
honest.
bad bitch and put on Luther, bro. Like, come on now,
Yeah.
man. Like, come on, man.
Luther's up there too now.
Sorry, these pages probably making a ton of noise.
No.
But yeah, man, it's great, dude.
Yeah.
Some people that Kendrick's been working on his entire career were on the album. Guys like Soundwave that have been on every project since '09. Jack Antonoff, I think I'm saying that right.
Jake?
here-
Jack?
Is
Oh shit, I might be messing it up. But yeah, that
He-
producer.
he was an
Jack. No, you're right.
engineer.
It is Jack.
He's worked with Taylor Swift. He's worked with
Yeah,
huge
that was
artists.
interesting to hear.
Ali He was mix and mastering. He's been with Kendrick since the Lookout for Detox days. That's a deep cut. Go listen to Lookout for Detox. That's a crazy
That's what I'm
ass
saying.
song.
He acts like everybody knows who Ali is.
Um,
Maybe they do, but I don't.
you know, there's throughout the album there's this Spanish bachata singer singing, and her name is Daira Barrera, and she's a local LA bachata artist that Kendrick saw performing at a Dodgers game and got on his freaking album, dude. Like, this is just like, this is a genuine motherfucker, ladies and gentlemen. Like,
He is.
um
He is putting people on from the West Coast specifically on this album. And yeah, that was interesting when you told me about the Spanish singer. I noticed the Spanish theme throughout. Like, it starts with that, ends with that. I think the Heart Part 6 has a Spanish like flamenco guitar part to it. I mean, I like that he sticks with the sound, and his albums are distinguishable. And this is probably I would say this one of the more accessible albums from him. So if you're like, oh, I don't want to listen to deep shit, but he still gives you very thoughtful bars and concepts and songs on this, like with songs that are just bangers too. So it's really got something for everybody.
An interesting tidbit here. And I think
Okay.
we talked about this before we started recording, the whole Father John Misty lore behind this.
Oh yeah, I'll be talking about Father John Misty in the next episode actually too. But yeah, apparently there's a little bit of like a
So Father John
Illuminati
Misty and
thing.
Kendrick Lamar have dropped albums on the same schedule for over a decade. That includes 2012, 2015, 2017, 2022, and now 2024, okay? And to make it even crazier, the drummer for Father John Misty tweeted out saying, "The best part is that more than once we've been working at the same studio. Kendrick was doing live instrument sessions in United A while we were cutting Pure Comedy in B in 2016. So chunks of a couple of these records were recorded within feet of each other concurrently."
Oh, interesting.
That's nuts.
Wow.
Like, what a coincidence. It has nothing to do to speak to the quality of either album, but
yeah.
still just crazy. What
is
you know?
weird that
What
they
a
have
what a
done that.
wild
Yeah.
connection, right? And it's like,
Wonder if they're like
if I had
pen
money,
pals or
I was
something.
gonna say, if I had money and I can invest, wait for
the next
the
one. Bet
Father
on
John-
that. Yeah.
well, the Father John Misty
Yeah.
sample's got to be coming in a Kendrick song soon.
Yeah.
You know,
That
He's
would
a-
be cool.
He's already been sampled in a Kid Cudi song.
Oh, has he?
Young Lady, Indica, Jesus
Okay.
Christ, girl.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You got it going on, young lady.
Dude. And with that, I may have to just end it with Chase singing because that's fucking hilarious to do. And it actually sounded good.
Hey, thanks.
But,
man.
I mean, any final thoughts on this album?
Dude,
I mean, I loved it.
like I
I
said,
loved
man,
it.
I can't.
It was
sum
so much
up-
fun.
I can't sum it up any better than the tweet I said about just the utopia, man. This is a music
Right.
utopia. I don't even have to think about what to play for the next couple of months, man. And
Yeah.
it's just
And neither do you, because when you listen to Lee's listening, you're going to know exactly what to listen to because what I say is good
baby.
shit.
Yeah.
And that's what you should
It's
listen
Lee's
to.
way
Don't
or the
listen to anybody
highway,
else.
baby.
You know what I mean?
And he's
But-
he's a new father, so he's not afraid to bring out the paddle on you all out there.
Yeah. Go listen to this Kendrick album. And, let me know your thoughts. And Chase is going to be back. We're going to do Absol and Tyler, the Creator. That'll be in an upcoming episode, too, because I've been listening to those albums quite a bit, too. So we're going to talk about that next time. But we had to pull the fire alarm. We had to do an emergency episode to cover this album. And I just want to say thank you, Chase, for joining me, dude.
Well, thank you, Lee. I
And,
appreciate it, my brother.
The whole experience was hilarious. Him calling me and us being like ready to go for this. I mean, it was such a surprise. It's such a joy to like listen to this album and experience it that way without,
I was looking forward
any
to
preparation.
it for the last couple of days, man. So I think this is something we'll look back on a couple years from now and really remember fondly, brother. So I appreciate you.
Thanks, bro. All right, much love to you. And much love to the listeners out there. Yeah, look for the next episode coming out soon. Thanks for hanging out with us.